Okay, so we've seen how to copy formulas and how the formula changes in each cell when we copy it as we move the cells around. Now, if we move them down or to the right, the same thing happens. They move appropriately based on where they're located. But what if we don't want them to move? What do we do then? So let me give an example here. Let's calculate, for example, let's pretend we have something, we've made some measurements of a cart moving along a track here at time 0 through 5 seconds. And let's say we'll make up the velocity. We'll just put some numbers in. Let's say the velocity is equal to 3 times the time, which I can do equals 3 times the time plus 0.5. So that made up a velocity for the first one, and I can copy this down. I could just pull this thing down, and that would copy it. Or, by the way, Command Z or Control Z deletes what you just did. But I can do something even cuter, which is I can just double click this corner and it will copy it down automatically to make the two columns the same length. So here you can see that my formula in this cell here, if I click on this, the formula is 3 times the time plus 0.5, which it should be. All that's good. The problem is, what if I want to calculate the kinetic energy? So to calculate the kinetic energy, let's say I have a cart of mass 6 kilograms, and I enter that here. What I want here is a formula that says equal 1/2 m, the mass, v squared. So I could put equals 0.5, there's my 1/2, times the mass, which I can point at, times the velocity, which I can point at, and put a little caret and go squared, and that works. If I copy this formula, however, it won't work. So if I pull this formula down even 1, you'll see that what I get here is 0, or I should get a number. Why? Because if I look at this formula and I touch it, what I see is that I have 1/2 a number which is below the mass, because this moved down, instead of this moved to C6 it was supposed to, this moved to D3, which it wasn't supposed to. I wanted the mass to always be 6. Now I could have in theory made a column of 6s, but that's not what I wanted to do. So let me show you how to fix that. Okay, so let's go get rid of that. And what I really wanted to say is that this formula here is equal to 1/2 the mass, which is D2, but I don't want D2 to change. So in Excel, the way I tell it when you copy a formula not to change it is I put a $sign in front of the D that says don't change the D. Oops, hang on a second. Let me put my cursor in the right spot. A $sign in front of the D, and a $sign in front of the 2 says don't change either the D or the 2 when I copy this formula. Now I go back and the formula looks the same, but now when I pull this formula down, in each one of these things, you can see I have the space that says D2. Here you can see this says D2 times C10, okay? So the idea is that if I put a $sign in front of the D and a $sign in front of the 2, then neither the D nor the 2 will change when I do a copy. Now, it's even easier than typing it that way. Let me erase this and do it again. So I can go back and change this formula. Let me edit it. Let me get rid of the $signs and show you an even easier trick. So if I have a cell highlighted like D2, on a Windows machine I can just press F4, or on a Mac I can press Command T, and it will automatically put the $signs in for you. So you don't even have to put the $signs in, you can just use a function key to do it. And then when you copy the cell down, everything works out to be so that the mass stays the same. This is how you use fixed cells.